Yeah. Well, I think that's big, breaking the cycle. That's what you're doing.
Right.
This became a habit over a long time.
Right.
Welcome back to American Traddiction, a journey of breaking carb addiction. Last week, we filled the cupboards and you dove in deep to the keto diet. Michelle's first week revealed that this is more than starting a new diet. She began breaking what many don't realize is an addiction.
Yes. I started my journey this time around and realized some major differences to my previous attempts.
Make sure you watch to the end and hear what I teach Michelle is the secret to any life-changing journey.
It really opened my eyes to see what this journey is really about. Well, I think that's big, breaking the cycle. That's what you're doing.
That was that moment that I said, that's what addiction looks like.
To be able to just to say, okay, it's in his diet and we may not even need to visit for medicine, that was huge.
Well, we are at 1 week, and that is a week of a lot of education, but also a lot of, you moved into a new state and a new house and an old house and a new weather pattern and a community, and then we took away all your comfort food. And
I know.
So tell us, just give us a little bit about, if you could summarize the last week of, what do you think has been the hardest part for you, for real?
For real? Just the move in general, the move from everything familiar.
Right?
Move from friends, close friends, friends for the kids, just what life looks like for, I think we were there for 13, 15 years. So that's a lot of life.
Right. Oh my goodness. So you add all of that emotion into, let's have some cameras show up and put you on the keto diet. You've been great. I mean, I think it's a lot. I really do. I don't want to in any way minimize that. But I'll tell you, more people have said, I'm going to do the keto diet when, and then that blank that fills in just never shows up.
Monday. It's
Yes.
always Monday.
It's always Monday. It is.
Always Monday.
And so to just rip the Band-Aid off and say, let me just start, let me show up with some accountability, and it happens to be cameras. That tough part is the beginning. And so good job for just saying yes, and then when it actually came true, you didn't say, oh, I changed my mind. So good job.
The only day I had that thought was the day that I had to get on the scales.
Oh.
I really did want to go out the door.
Escape, run away.
Yep, wasn't even kidding.
Well,
but no, it's
your
been good.
Courage is very admirable, and I just think the people that are going to learn for it is amazing. I channel that whenever I think I don't want to do the show today. I don't feel as prepared as I need to be. I just need to do my best. And when I get in that moment of saying, should I just not do it? The imagery of saying, what will the trickle effect be if I just am brave enough to do my best, even if it's not what I wanted? What about so that was the hardest part, is all the stress and emotion and moving. But what about the best parts of the week? What do you think maybe surprised you, or you felt, oh, that was good?
All the above. It's been a really good week. It's been a great week to have my youngest here and him to get on board ever so slightly.
Ever so
but
slightly.
He is on board. So
As a
I
mom?
will take that.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I have boys. I've had boys that went through the age of 12, and every time it was like, I tap out. This is awful.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All my rules of hyper-mothering and scheduling and telling you what to do are not working.
No, because you can no longer pick them up and put them where you
Right.
want.
So that he's engaged, that's a gift, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about pay it back for a mom is help my kids do a better journey. And improve you, it will improve them. So keep that as your mindset. When you've been making meals, you've got a 12-year-old you're considering, you also have cameras around, so they've been perfect. But if it was in your home, what would have ended up on those plates? Like even for him, or even you trying to do the keto diet in the past, but we've been like sticking to that grocery list that we had, really, really reaching for as close to zero on the carbs as possible, because of a rapid transition is easier to manage for a lot of reasons. But
that one's a little tough for me. I will not even lie about that, because like it's those habits of there has to be, because you teach your kids green vegetables. So, like last night at dinner, he asked for broccoli, and that was not an option.
Who can say no to a kid that asks for broccoli? But yeah, is there any broccoli in the house?
No.
Right? Yeah.
No, there's no broccoli.
Right, and the grocery store is miles away.
Yeah.
So in the past, you would have added more vegetables. Would you have eaten them?
More than likely,
Right,
because they were there.
And I just find that when patients do that in that first few weeks, it's not that you never get broccoli. It's that what the broccoli led to was some of the cauliflower, which was then some of, corn's not so bad. Well, then it's amazing how quick, carrots, they're fall vegetables, and I'm like, they're all carbs. And especially when that vegetable got steamed so much that it should be called mashed carrots or mashed broccoli.
Because you've lost all your nutrients.
Yeah, you just cut, So, and when it's raw, there's not a problem, but they eat the volumes of it to try and keep the bowels going in the right direction, because they're used to being fiber dependent. And I just say, if you can switch the chemistry, you'll get through that constipation thing pretty quick, but you can't linger in the middle of the chemistry change. What else would be on the...
Probably more chicken.
Yeah?
Yeah, and when I say chicken, it's usually chicken breasts that we all buy in bulk, from your bigger stores. So yeah, I think we're eating more protein versus the actual, the fat.
Right, exactly. So chicken, when it's not chickens, we've had more probably pork this week, and then we did hamburger a couple nights.
Yeah, we've had some beef.
Beef, okay. And so it would have been more chicken, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, chicken has a really good marketing team. Especially that chicken breast.
Yeah.
The last thing is on day 7, we have you weigh in again. But I don't like people to look at the weight too often. And so I don't know if you've been looking.
I've steered clear.
Perfect. It's a really big deal. Like, the focus shouldn't be on the number. I give them this end of week 1 to look, because I get a lot of people chirping, when do we get to weigh? When are we going to start exercising? And I'm like, you're focused on the wrong spots. There's a lot of things we're changing right now. Let's get these things down really well. So if you said, I don't want to look yet, it would be fine. It's not mandatory. It's that place saying, when does that happen? And so I write it in there saying, okay, you can step on the scale and see where you're at, or you can wait till the end of week 2. And so once a week weigh-ins are enough. They don't need to be the focus of what you do, though.
Oh, it's very easy to become hyper-focused. And then when you see that and you're still doing all the right things and that number's not budging, that's a huge discouragement.
It's real. And I've seen that again and again, where there's all these wonderful things I see happening, like their sleep is better, they've got better food choices, the energy is better, they're not snacking, all these fat-based hormones are changing. But we had a lot of what I call rind, the swollen, swampy stuff between cells. And once it moves, then it moves. But before it moves, everybody's like, I don't know, it's not happening to me. I'm like, stay the course. It's okay. It will happen. But the final thing that we do at the end of week 7 is tell me about either your habits or your son's habits of going to the fridge and looking in.
Absolutely. I have not seen him do that very often when I've been around. He's still, in school, so he has his classwork during the day that's keeping him busy. Now, when he gets up from those breaks, that's the first place he goes. And I think it's habit, maybe. Also, out of boredom, or, okay, I think I'm hungry, but I'm really, not really processing. I'm really not hungry. I'm not sure why I'm doing this.
Right.
Yesterday was, like I said, I saw some moodiness. And it was a tougher day, and it was a long day, and he should have been finished a lot sooner. And so I found myself getting frustrated, and I found myself in front of the fridge with the door open going, wait a minute, I am not hungry. So it's habits.
Trap. It's a trap for sure. So we have a little sign for you to hang in your fridge for you and your family.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, this is, you're not hungry.
You're bored.
You're bored. Close the door. And I think just something reminding you, the trigger is to hopefully make you chuckle a little bit, but also to get you to say, guess what? There's more going on here than hunger. And if you can just process, get out of the habit, have something break the cycle, and levity is always the best answer, finding a little bit of fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that's big, breaking the cycle. That's what you're doing.
Right.
Because this didn't happen, in a few days. This became a habit over a long time.
Right. So there's a couple other topics that we haven't talked about yet, and they're coming up. They have been kind of substituted for you in the first week by having cameras, and your sister-in-law just practically moved in. And that is when you look at the long game, or at least the next 3 or 4 weeks, do you have any idea of where you might find or who might be a good accountability partner?
And when you say that, you mean more locally?
Well, so there's a few ways. COVID's changed this a lot. In the perfect world, you would have somebody who has done this before you, and they are journeying in a way that that gives you mirror neurons to pick up on. You can watch their example. If you're in a tough moment, they're going to know the right answer. I want you to remember this for when, like, your mom goes through and she says, okay, I want you to draw the line in the sand and step over this. That don't encourage your mom to do it till you get a little further along, so that you can have stability in being someone else's accountability coach. So pause for that. What about your husband?
Oh, he's a great support.
Okay.
He also can be my enabler.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm having a chocolate craving, and he'll go get sugar-free chocolate. But I think learning what I've learned this week, that's something that should right now be out.
Right, absolutely. It should be 0. And so if you have that history of doing great to a certain level, and then you see the weakness, if you choose to have him as an accountability partner, even if it's not this season, it's the next one, right? Pointing out, writing down in contract, okay, just for 6 weeks, we can't do your bad habit. And I just think it's so much easier to frame it that they have an end time, that they're going to be your leader, they're going to be your helper, and you've got, okay, what is your weakness? Oh, I know your weakness. Let's see if you can point out your weakness. And then that moment of truth allows them to be a better accountability partner.
Oh, that's good.
So the other part that I wanted to make sure I showed you was what a keto support group looks like. That part of the subtext of this course was to create those teachers, students, keto coaches for others, moms teaching kids, whatever you want to call that. But I also know that the long game involves a support group. And as I've taken care of addiction for over 20 years, I don't think carbs are exempt from addiction. If you don't think that's true, just wait till like day 10. Day 10 seems to be this like, where the heck did I hide the chocolate? There's got to be some, and then fill in the blank. Yeah. But getting past day 10 and getting into month 10, getting into year 3, that's where I see a support group as a place where you check in, you journey with a group of people, and even if the journey is for a season for some and then not for another, I have a couple things that I like people to do for their support groups, and on Friday we're going to show you what the one looks like here that I run, and I think you'll really enjoy it, but I think it's hard to explain what goes on in a support group until you come. The mirror neurons are the core of the purpose of a group, and they work best when in person, but there's other places you can ignite them, just not as well as in-person groups. What I hope you see is, I needed an accountability partner, here's what I did. In fact, in true form of how to run what I think of a healthy group, newbies don't get to speak for maybe till the end of the hour, but we want you seeing how people check in. So if you are looking for an answer to a question, it would be a great way to introduce yourself to the group, saying, I don't know how to do this accountability partner thing. What did you guys do? And see if they have an answer. So.
Support groups always sound like something someone else should do. Tune in next week to see Michelle's first support group.
If you haven't subscribed by now, you need to for this next episode.